Our season ends in disappointment once again. Thank you, Mike Ryan, for some of the worst wide receiver performing play that I've ever seen in the history of playing this video game. So Joseph Cooley ends the season at 3-8. The Mississippi Valley State Delta Devil football team have a lot of work to do, losing to a team that only had one win prior to our last matchup in the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. So let's go into the scoreboards of the SWAC. As you see here, Alabama A&M shut us out. Well, not shut us out, but they scored 21 points in the third quarter, and they pretty much took over from there. Bethune-Cookman beats Alcorn State. Grambling State finishes at 6-5, becoming bowl eligible, and upset win over Jackson State. Prairie View A&M, Texas Southern rivalry game. Prairie View A&M wins that game. They go to 2-9. I know that's disappointing for Texas Southern. Florida A&M beating Southern. Southern once again not going to a bowl game for the second straight year, losing their last 4 games of the season. Wow, so disappointing. Not a good year for the SWAC at all. Morgan State beat Idaho 35-20. Hampton beat Delaware State 31-20. That was a very interesting game, especially for Hampton in the second and fourth quarter. South Carolina State comes up 5 points short versus Duke. Then we go down to Greensboro, North Carolina. North Carolina A&T beat Howard 23-13. Very interesting matchups, and Hill had a great game for the Aggies. So let's go back to recruiting. Let's look down the list of all the people we missed. Michael Smith went to Florida State. Shane Harris went to Arizona State. Corey Ross went to Miami. Caleb Thomas looked like he went to Tennessee, and we lost his quarterback to Alabama State. Not surprised there. So Alabama State is now in the driver's seat. All they got to do is win the SWAC championship game. They're going back to the net. Heisman watch list looks like this going into championship week. Josh Upshot at the top. You got Paul Ford, Texas Tech. Brian Bino Cook at Alabama State, the wide receiver. Ricky Bruce Lee comes in at 4th, quarterback for Alabama State. And then they got that wide receiver from Texas Tech. So Brian Bino Cook looks like he's going to win the Biletnikoff Award if he puts on a great performance in the SWAC championship game. Meanwhile, the SWAC players of the week, Dominic Scott of Florida A&M, for his performance versus Southern and their win. Dan Green was looking like Darryl Green on that pick 6 that of course came off a Mike Ryan drop pass, and that changed the momentum of the game for the Bulldogs. Congrats to him. Meanwhile, over at the MEAC, Alex Thompson, 24 carries, 114 yards and 2 tutties, along with a receiving touchdown for Morgan State as they beat Idaho. Jeremy Hall, 15 tackles, 9 for loss, 4 sacks, and a forced fumble. That is NCAA 27 wrote the glory numbers. So here are the final SWAC standings. We come in 5th in the East. Texas Southern wins the East again, and they have to play the Alabama State Hornets in Detroit, Michigan, aka ASU Stadium Midwest. 6-5 versus 11-0. Morgan State in the MEAC looks like they're on the verge of taking the MEAC title. 7-4 on the season, 5-2 in conference play. So it looks like it's going to be a congratulations to the Morgan State Bears. Here is championship week in Detroit, Michigan. Alabama State, Texas Southern. Alabama State wins, they go to the Natty. And they got that number 4 in total offense, number 8 in total defense. Yeah, good luck, Texas Southern. And Atlanta, SEC championship game. Arkansas Razorbacks, Tennessee Volunteers. Look at Arkansas, number 3 in rush offense, so please believe they're going to be running the football. It's like Dan McFadden's still there. Houston, Texas, Big 12 title game. Oklahoma, the number 1 team in the nation, taking on Missouri. A lot of people expecting Oklahoma to run away with this, but it looks like Missouri's got a good team. Jacksonville, Florida, ACC championship game. The Miami Hurricanes are taking on the Clemson Tigers. 2-game winning streak for Miami, 2-game losing streak for the Clemson Tigers. And finally down in Houston. So Houston, Texas will be the scene of 2 championship games. This one for the Conference USA title, as the Houston Cougars are hosting the Memphis Tigers. Let's see who wins that one. That should be an interesting matchup. So here we go. Conference championship week is underway. Let's simulate the game in Detroit. The SWAC title goes to the Alabama State Hornets. That is now, I believe, 12 in a row. 42-23 win. And if you look at the numbers by quarter and at the stats and the summary by quarter, Alabama State dominated the second half. It was 20-15 in favor of Texas Southern in the first half, and then the Hornets kicked it up second half. Ricky Bruce Lee was an absolute surgeon in this game, just straight dissecting that Texas Southern defense. Check this out. Let's keep going down. The man had over 400 yards passing along with 6 touchdown passes. Of course, you saw Stone Cold Steve Austin Mason had over 100 yards rushing, but Ricky Bruce Lee was the man of the night. 6 touchdown passes, 427 in the air, man. Let's go over to Atlanta. The Arkansas Razorbacks in an upset. They defeat the Tennessee Volunteers 42-31 in a great game. And they played a great game in the first half, scoring 28 points to Tennessee's 14. And then, of course, they scored to finish it off in the fourth quarter. Out there in Houston, the Oklahoma Sooners survive. #1 team in the country is going to go to the national championship game. They're taking on the Alabama State Hornets now. That's a guarantee. ACC title, the Miami Hurricanes run away with it. Looks like a tie game at the half in the first half. And then Miami just took away and ran with it, dominated the second half. Conference USA title game, Houston, Texas, and the Houston Cougars, the home team. They beat the Memphis Tigers 38-13 as we advance to the next week. Oh, there it is. Houston Cougars pretty balanced throughout the game. Memphis couldn't get nothing going into the fourth quarter. That's when they scored their one and only touchdown. And Ricky Bruce Lee, not even given the most first place votes, wins the Heisman Trophy. Brian Bino Cook had 246 first place votes. But that wasn't enough to pass Ricky Bruce Lee, who had an excellent SWAC championship performance over Texas Southern. Man had over 3,800 yards and 47 touchdown passes. Wow. So the Hornets, once again, win the SWAC title, still undefeated, going to the Natty. San Diego State wins the Mountain West Conference, low-key one of my favorite G5 conferences. Cal wins the Pac-10. Arkansas takes home the ACC championship game after beating Tennessee in Atlanta. Morgan State takes home the MEAC title, 7-4 on the year. New Mexico State won the WAC. Don't remember New Mexico State ever winning anything in my lifetime in real life. ACC title, Miami Hurricanes, of course. Ohio State Buckeyes, 10-1, Big Ten champions. Too bad they can't go to the net. And then we got the Oklahoma Sooners defeating Missouri for the Big 12 championship game. The Cincinnati Bearcats, they repeat as Big East champions. Houston takes on Conference USA. So now you got Brian Bino Cook carrying on tradition. He wins the Biletnikoff Award. Aaron Stevens of Delaware State had a phenomenal season for the Hornets up there. 112 tackles along with 3 sacks and some interceptions. That's crazy. Adrian Smith, the freshman kicker that we got, he won the Graza Award. Wow. For the best kicker in the nation as a true freshman. So let's go down the list, man. As you see here, you see Ricky Bruce Lee, you see Brian Bino Cook, and you're going to see a couple more HBCU players. You saw that tackle for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Anthony Stewart made it as a defensive end. He had a stellar season. And, of course, you see Aaron Stevens winning the Biletnikoff Award. Of course, he's going to be there. And then on top of that, we got Adrian Smith, of course, as the kicker. When you win the Graza Award, no doubt you're going to be first-team All-American. First-team All-American as a freshman is absolutely phenomenal, man. Joseph Cooley really did create a monster out there in Montgomery, Alabama. So as we continue to search all the HBCU players that made the All-American list, first team, second team, and freshman team, I want y'all to go in the comment section and leave your thoughts on the games coming up this weekend in real life. Who's going to win that game in Birmingham between the Southern Jaguars and the Alabama State Hornets? And, of course, on the same day, we have the MEAC SWAC Challenge, which is the Alabama A&M Bulldogs and the Howard Bison going at it in Atlanta, Georgia. I believe it's at the old Turner Field where the Georgia State Panthers currently play and where the Atlanta Braves used to play, of course. Man, look at that. Jay Pollard made it as a true freshman All-American. Well, a freshman All-American, my bad. But I was so disappointed in this list, man. So as you see, we got no Joe McKenzie. We got Shane Carlson, though he had a great season. Jay Pollock had a great season. Old buddy from Grambling right here, Raymond Gilmore, had a great season as a true freshman. Patrick Speaks is the next man up at Alabama State. The next great linebacker in Montgomery, Alabama, man. But no Joe McKenzie. I was so pissed off about that. Let's go over to the all-SWAC team. And yeah, nothing's changed. It's basically all Alabama State Hornets. But you're going to see some players. You're going to see some Mississippi Valley State players on the second team, though, man. Not as many as I thought there was going to be, though. But nevertheless, it's all good. It is our first season here at Inabina, Mississippi. We're just looking to get better from here, man. No doubt about that. So you see Kurt Benny-Siegel, you see Joe McKenzie, and I believe we had one more player after that. I forgot who it was. It was either a linebacker or a DB. Yeah, it was a DB, because I was still disappointed at the fact that Roman Wilkerson didn't make the team. Well, didn't make any of the all-SWAC teams. Take that back. We only had two. So that was only Kurt Benny-Siegel, and that was Joe McKenzie. As you look down at the all-MEAC list, man, also drop down in the comment section. Who do you think is going to win the MEAC this year? Who do you think is going to win the SWAC this year? Of course, we're talking about in real life. Who's going to win the SWAC East? Who's going to win the SWAC West? How is Alabama State going to do? How is Jackson State going to do? I can't wait for that matchup. It's going to be another close matchup once again. Jackson State and Alabama State. And, of course, this time it's going to be played in the Gump Town. But stay tuned, man. Join us next time. We get ready for the offseason. We're also going to show y'all who all won the national title and the bowl games. Thank you for watching. Peace.